Hello Taurus, thank you for coming back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please like and share or subscribe if need be. Yeah, share it with your friends and tell others about it. It also helps to circulate the videos amongst other people who may be interested to view. So this is a general reading. You'll need to take what you can from it, what works for you. It may also apply to somebody that you are close to at this time. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to cross-watch for further insights. I have shuffled and laid out the cards. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. So now in the first house, we have solar eclipse revolution. The first house is the house of the self. So this is your self, your self-oriented interests. It's your physical body, your vitality, and basically how you look to others. So your personality and your characteristics and so on, what you project to others as well, what you actually, send out, so how they perceive you. This is also about personal independence, how you make your way in the world, what you're actually going through on a daily basis. So now with this card coming in, changes are coming. The changes are necessary in order to move you forward, so they will probably be swift. And it's basically the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. So you may be required to make a decision at this time. Perhaps when you do that, then it will create an upheaval. If you are avoiding making a decision, then something will be created for you. It's a possibility of some sort of upheaval where you'll feel out of your comfort zone. It's a rearrangement of a whole bunch of things going on around you or in your life. But it's basically you. It's self-oriented. You may also be asked to dive in to fix or create something. And when you do that, when you take the initiative and you actually do that, you're going to create something much, much better. It's going to be much more rewarding for you. You could also be breaking old patterns. And this card is also about self-mastery. So you're really going to be given the impetus to do this now. But it will bring in changes for you, and they could be very swift indeed. Then in the second house, we have Neptune sacrifice. Your second house has everything to do with your income, your money that's coming in. It's also the house of your self-worth and your value systems. So what you value in yourself and in others and in your possessions. This is the house of possessions, what you own as well. So it also covers things like real estate and land, that sort of thing. So now with Neptune sacrifice coming in, you may be a bit unsure about things at the moment. It's almost like there are unknown factors. Things are a bit, they're not clear. They're just not clear to you at this time. So you may be feeling a little bit, maybe just be feeling a bit adrift, like you're not quite sure what's happening at the moment, or you haven't got all the facts in order to make a decision. So there could be a bit of confusion as well about something. This card is also the card of self-deception, so you may be under some kind of illusion or fantasy as well. So just be aware of that. You may be feeling vulnerable, or that you're under pressure and you just want to escape. You just want to get away from what's going on. All of those things can come in with this card. Self-sacrifice also comes in. So you may have to, in order to do certain things from a monetary point of view or from a real estate point of view, you may just need to do something which will entail some sacrifice of some kind. Or you could be just self-sacrificing your ego in a particular issue. Alternatively, you can also be feeling incredibly imaginative, creative, inspired, artistic, and that's artistic pursuits of all kinds as well. So this card has those both sides of it. So you could be reaching really for incredible imaginative and creative ideas, or just be really inspired at this time. But there may also be the other side of it, which is where there's these unknown factors, there's a bit of confusion, a bit of self-deception possibly, or you may just have to put aside your ego in certain instances in order to make progress in this house. In the third house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So your third house is everything to do with your communication. This is how you express yourself to others. So this can be verbal, written, it's body language as well. You may could also you be receiving messages or hearing things or seeing things in your environment, so you're receiving the messages. This house also rules short trips, local trips. It also rules interactions with family members like cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, and also your neighbors. Your neighbors can come in on this as well. It's also the house of learning, and it's the house of, it rules all documents and contracts because it's written, right? So all of that can come in on this house. So what this is telling you is that something's under the surface, something's not quite clear to you, it's almost like you're waiting for something to happen, something's lurking, something's kind of stalking almost, you're just not sure what it is, there's some issue going on or something under the surface, some undercurrent going on. You may just be feeling a little bit, either you're feeling this, or you're seeing it in your environment with others that you're interacting with. So this is communication with others in general, but also with those family members and your neighbors even. So just be aware of harboring or expressing dark emotions. This card is the darker feminine, but it also brings in the difficult emotions like anger, envy, bitterness, vengeful thoughts, betrayal, things like that. So just be aware that this, try and find a healthy outlet for this, because this could be something that somebody said something and you've taken offense, or you feel slighted in some way, or you have said something and the other person's exhibiting these emotions, all right? So just be aware of that. You could, as I said, you could be on the receiving end of it, or you could be seeing it happening around you. This card also brings in seduction of some kind. So whether this is seduction in words, or whether you're seeing it in your environment, or you're the subject of, you're being seduced in some way, secret affairs, that sort of thing, steamy sort of affairs. It's kind of hidden. There's a darker element to this one. This is a sort of the deeper feminine, the darker feminine. So there could be a female issue involved in a female person involved in any one of these issues that I've described. It's the best outcome for this card is about standing strong, not giving up on something which you feel strongly about. It's also about exhibiting self-control, mastery over that subdued feminine power. So we all have the feminine and the masculine in us. So this is about really getting a firm grip on the darker side of the feminine emotions, the subdued strength and power. It's about harnessing that to ensure that you're staying strong in what you believe in, but don't let it get out of control and be expressed in sort of around in your environment. Either that, or it's coming at you in some way, or you're seeing it in your environment. Then in the fourth house, we have Venus, the love card. So now with this card coming in, your fourth house is everything to do with your home. So this is your physical home. It's also the atmosphere in your home. It's the people in your home, just your home in general, wherever it is that you call home. This is also, the fourth house is also your relationship with your family tree, your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, where you came from. It's your relationship with that. So now, with this card coming in, what it's saying is love conquers all. So let love take care of things at this time. You may be strongly wanting to unite with another in some way or form a partnership, or a partnership could be coming in for you. It's highly indicated with this card, and it's a beneficial thing as well. You could also be attracting abundance and beauty to you, or you may be asked to create that. So it's creating romance, balance, comfort, harmony. This is in your home life and in your actual home. You may be wanting to bring beautiful things into your home, because this card loves beautiful. Venus is all about beautiful things and the love of beautiful things and the coveting of that. Luxuries, high comfort. So just be aware, with Neptune that was sitting in your money house, just be aware that you're not splurging on purchases or purchasing an unnecessary luxury item, because you can create romance and love and comfort in your home without necessarily blowing your money on expensive purchases, beautiful things that just they're nice to look at, but is it really enhancing you, inside and out? So that's just a small thing to be aware of. But you could also be receiving a windfall of some kind, or you could be experiencing a resolution to a money concern or a dispute. It could even be a legal dispute of some kind. This can bring in new love, improvement in love, or an old love coming back into your life. This card is also about art, beauty, fashion. So you could be exposed to that in your home in some way. You could be perhaps bringing it into your home in some way. But it's always about refinement. Venus is always about refinement of whatever's going on, being social. So you may have more things going on, more people coming to visit you at your home. And it's also about food and comfort and nourishment, all of those lovely, yummy feelings. That's what Venus brings in for you. Then in the 5th house, we have Saturn return age. The 5th house is your house of creativity. It's the house of children, your children or other children that you're associated with. And it's the house of love affairs. And it's the house of all recreational and fun activities. So it's play, really. Whatever activities, it could even be sports activities. Now with Saturn return age coming in, so this is a return. So this implies wisdom and experience. That's what you need to apply here in this house. Because that's what Saturn does. Saturn gathers wisdom. It enhances wisdom in you, and you can only gather that over time. So this is also about taking responsibility for anything, really, in this 5th house. So it's taking responsibility for your own dreams, what you want. Or it could be that you're seeing this in your children. Maybe your children need to take responsibility for their dreams. You also need to face any truths head on. Anything difficult or tricky or something you've been avoiding, you must face all truths with this card. Otherwise, it will be, made front and center for you. You need to release what is not working for you at this time. So anything that is not working for you in your 5th house environment, you need to release it. Streamlining comes in with this card. Streamlining, making things work for you. You may also be seeing through an old illusion that you've had about something. So something, you always saw something being a certain way, and now you're seeing that it's not actually that at all. So it's a kind of a disappointment. So you're seeing through this illusion that you were under, seeing something for what it is. This card is always about solid achievement, and it wants it to be permanent in your life. And you can only reach solid achievement by having very strong foundations, very strong starting blocks. Okay, so that's building. That takes time, and it takes it takes time, but it's a practical thing, and it takes work as well. So you've got to work towards solid achievement, but it must be permanent, and that's what this card is always aiming for. So if you're busy trying to build something up from a wobbly foundation or something that wasn't standing strong to begin with, it simply will not happen. Okay. There is slow progress. It's measured action. It's applying wisdom and experience. It's also about age. So this could be you feeling your age or looking at your life and thinking, I should have done this, or I should be somewhere else by now. Or it could be you're seeing that in your children. But it's almost like you're filtering that through, and you're looking at that and assessing things from a wisdom point of view, looking at where you are in your life and thinking, I hope I haven't run out of time or anything like that. It's kind of an age-related situation, but with that comes wisdom. all right? Always wisdom comes with age. And so that's a good thing. So apply that and your experience in whatever the fifth house issue is coming up for you at this time. We have another Saturn card. This is coming up in your sixth house. Whatever this is your work house. So this is your house of your workplace, your work colleagues, and your mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do. So if you're not in a workplace but you work on your own, busy doing something, it's mastery of that. But it's all work related. It's your daily routines there. This house is also to do with your health and your diet, and it's the house of pets. So now with Saturn truth coming in, again, it's slow progress. This is still wisdom being applied here, and it's also age. It's also age related because this is slow moving energy, and it does imply that you are gaining wisdom on something. But with this coming, so it came up in your fifth house, so it could be creativity related, and that's coming into your work house. Yeah, you just have to see how that pans out for you. But it is, again, it's facing any truths head on. Anything that you've been avoiding or anything that's not solidly built will come down, and you're going to have to start again. It's also about experiencing restrictions or delays or heavy responsibilities in this particular house. And it's learning to work with those. Because when you do that, when you work with Saturn, the rewards later will be great. So this is a testing time where you're shaping your experiences, you're shaping what you do so that you can reach that self-mastery. Because when you do that, then the rewards are great. But it's a slow-moving energy. It's about patience. It's about growth, responsibility, as I said. It's time-related. And it's also, you could be involved with a mentor, so having a mentor or some sort of authority figure in your life. So this could be almost like a male figure, like a fatherly figure, or it could be a boss or somebody you're working with, but they have authority and they have knowledge and wisdom. It could also be a taskmaster, so somebody is really putting you through your paces, and it will feel difficult and restrictive and almost frustrating at times, but years into the future, you will look back and realize that you shaped yourself quite magnificently during that period, and it gave you a really good foundation, and that's what Saturn is all about, okay? When it comes to health and diet, just be aware Saturn rules teeth, bones, skeletal issues, so that might be a trip to the chiropractor or whatever. It also rules the tendons and ligaments in the body. So all of those things come up when Saturn is shining in your sixth house. Then in the seventh house, we have water element sensing. So your seventh house is your house of your close personal one-on-one relationships. So this is your love relationships, or it could be a business partnership or some other relationship which is close personal one-on-one, as I said. So now this is about listening to your feelings, your intuition. It's also about going with the flow at the moment. You may be feeling low energy. You may need to withdraw sometimes just to recenter yourself, to get your feelings sorted out. But it really is about gaining balance and centering yourself, and so that you feel grounded. But at the same time, go with the flow, all right? So just withdraw periodically to spend time on your own, because that will help you to navigate better. This is about pausing before forward action. It's that pause, all right? You may just be needing to gather resources in preparation as well. So rest and just go with things as they're moving currently. This card also brings in the need for compassion and understanding. But at the same time, you need to maintain boundaries. So don't become a doormat or allow yourself to be trampled on in some way. So just, monitor that, but still harness the compassion and the understanding. This card also brings in artistic pursuits again. So this is coming up again for you. It's come up a few times. So this is about painting, writing, music, using your creativity, and all kinds of activities around that. So you and your partner may be going to events or working on various things like this, or it could be a business partnership, or you could just be needing to do this yourself in your relationship to bring you balance and harmony, to give you that time on your own where you are focusing on a creativity pursuit or an artistic pursuit of some kind. If there is drama going on, try to avoid it. Don't get involved. Just go with it, but maintain your boundaries, but still just flow where possible and withdraw where needed. Then in the 8th house, we have Jupiter abundance. The 8th house follows on from this relationship situation in the 7th house. This is about the merging of finances and material resources and emotional resources in a love partnership, but also in a business partnership. So it could be either way or both. And it's about the merging of that. This house is also about big finance. So you had your money house earlier, which is the 2nd house. This is the big finance. This is accounting, banking, insurance, investments, inheritances, legacies, trusts, tax. All of those sorts of things come in on this card. On this house. Now, with the Jupiter abundance coming in there, this is going to bring in opportunity and abundance in some form for you in this house. So it also can bring in opportunities, right? So when you harness the opportunities, then you get the abundance. It's also about generosity and expansion. So just be aware that you're not expanding so much that you're blowing all your money on beautiful things in your home or whatever. Just be aware that in your 2nd house there are issues that need to be still dealt with, and you may just have to put money away for certain things. Just see how you go. But this is, as I said, about possibly taking opportunities and working with them. So it's expansion, it's luck. An inheritance could come in via a father figure of some kind. You may receive a gift. You could also receive the gift of divine help, divine assistance when you really need it. It could also be in the form of a reward. But you're going to need to work to bring the opportunity in, or to bring whatever it is that benefit into you. You can't coast with this card. Yes, it's a lovely feeling and you will be feeling better and good about certain things, but you can't become complacent. You must still work at it to harness those opportunities and really farm any goodness that comes to you, good luck or expansion, whatever it is that's opening for you. Doors open, you find strength with this card. All of those lovely, helpful, expansive feelings come in. In some cases, it may bring about a bit of overindulgence, as I said, certainly with money or food, but it's usually overindulgence of some kind, going over the top. It could also be a form of overconfidence. And just be aware with this, because this is a money house. This house also rules dealing with other people's money. All right. So you still need to be prudent, and you need to enjoy the abundance and chase all the opportunities and enjoy a bit of generosity possibly, but just be aware that you can go overboard as well with this. Then in the 9th house, we have the Earth element stability. So the 9th house is quite a broad house. It covers exploration and adventure of all kinds. So this is traveling to foreign countries, or you getting involved with people from foreign countries or foreign cultures or foreign concepts, or just dealing with people online that are from another country. So it's you meeting the world, or the world meeting you in some way. And you can also do that through further education and study. So that's ruled by this house. It's university level or adult education. It's also about philosophy, religion, belief systems. It's about understanding all that. It's also the house of teaching. It's the house of publishing and promotional work. It's also the house of the higher courts, the law, and relationship to in-laws. All of that falls in under the 9th house. So with this card coming in, this is about practicality and wisdom coming in. So any one of those 9th house areas may be affecting you at this time. So it's about practicality and wisdom. Take your time with whatever it is that you're trying to do there. Don't rush, because this is not a rush card, right? This is methodical. It's dutiful. It's strong. It's also about building blocks again. This has come up again and again. So building blocks, putting down a really solid foundation is super important with this, or putting down really solid roots, you know. It's about finding a master plan for what it is that you want to do. It's about getting organized. You may be starting a business. As I said, travel may be indicated, and then it may be to areas where real estate or land is involved. This is also about living close to the earth. So this is highly indicated for organic farming, or for dealing with earthly issues, which are close to your heart and which are life affirming, and good for the life force. Okay, it's all about that as well. It's also about meeting the right people who are going to really help you in some way, really good connections and contacts. This card also, because you are an earth sign already and a Taurian, this card is also about, it's going to highlight aspects of your personality, which is about being flexible. Avoid being too stubborn at this time with certain things. So it's like old stubborn attitudes which are based on preconceived ideas or fears of some kind. You need to let go of those fears, loosen up a little bit, and be prepared to try new things, okay? Because otherwise you get too entrenched in specific ways of doing things and you can't learn and grow, all right? So that's another aspect of this card coming in for you. Then in the 10th house, this is your house of career. This is your house of fame, reputation, your ambitions, authority figures, and anything that you look up to. It's all about that. It's also the house of your status or your public standing. So with this card coming in, it is a destiny card. And what I feel it's going to do is going to place a really intense focus for you in this specific area, because it is literally a really strong point on a specific area, and it's quite a tense aspect coming in. So it's an intense focus on whatever it is that's going on for you in the 10th house. You're not really going to get any support, and at this time you're going to be working on your own, or working alone. And don't be afraid to do that, because you don't actually need that support or that advice or anybody else telling you what you need to do, because you've got a very strong GPS, a very strong inner GPS, and this card is telling you that you must follow that, all right? It's a kind of a pioneering card. So whatever it is you're working on, you're going to be sort of beavering away by yourself, possibly, with odd interaction with others, but really you don't need it. You just need to be finding your truth. You need to be searching for aspects in the work or whatever it is that you're doing that is right for you. It's finding your truth, okay, and establishing that. It's understanding that really deeply. You may feel out of step with others, or you may feel different from others. So therefore, that's all very necessary, because as soon as you start feeling like that, then you focus on what it is you need to do to actually come to your own truth. And that's what this card is about. You may, as I said, you may just feel different from others right now, but don't let it worry you, okay? The path may not be clear. You kind of, as I said, pioneering. So, but just weather through the circumstances. Some sacrifices to reach your goals are required. Patience, adaptability is very, very important. But don't force things at this time. Just keep going in what you feel is right, and in search of your truth and what is going to be right for you. But it will be quite an intense period at this time. But as I said, destiny is involved, so it's kind of something you can't avoid. It's just something you've got to go through, and you're in the right place because you need to learn whatever's going on with that. In the 11th house, we have Pisces, I believe. So with this card coming in, it's basically your 11th house is your house of friendships. It's your house of groups of all kinds, whatever social groups you're involved in, or could even just be other groups, clubs, societies, associations, anything like that. Sports group could even be. any kind of situation where you're with others in some kind of group setting. It's also the house of your personal hopes and wishes and dreams, and your hobbies and interests. It's also the house of ideals. Okay, so now futuristic visions and dreams come into this as well, but it can be global. So this can be global or group consciousness, social reforms and causes, that sort of thing. It's also about trends and currents. Okay, so now with Pisces, I believe following the trends and the currents should be well indicated for you, because that Pisces do that. They follow what's going on in the environment. They're very highly attuned to what's going on. So you may just be feeling particularly sensitive at this time, really highly tuned in to what's going on around you, and the people that you're connected with, or the groups that you're in, or the networks that you're part of. So it's also following dreams, your artistic pursuits. Artistic pursuits keeps coming up again and again and again. So this is highly indicated for you this month. So it's about looking at that, working with that, tuning in, and actually really harnessing the beauty of this card, and reaching for those higher levels of understanding, and pulling down your imagination and your abilities. It's also about inspiration. So you may be receiving inspiration, or you may be giving inspiration to others in some way. It's about being connected to others, connected to your hopes and dreams, connected to your friends, connected to certain things that you want to do, or your particular interest or hobby of yours. This is also about having compassion. So you may be doing that in conjunction with a friend or an associate, or some kind of group that you're in, or it could be a social reform that you're following. All of those aspects come in with this card. The other side of this card, which also came up earlier, is because Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune was in your second house. So there could be a little bit of confusion going on with either with friends or with groups or other people that you're associated with. You could also be mixing in the wrong crowd, so just be aware of that. Or you may need to put in boundaries with certain people, because they could be very well draining you. So their complicated circumstances are pulling you in and pulling you under, basically, almost draining you. So you need to put blocks in, put boundaries in, and stop that from happening. You don't want to be pulled in under other people's problems and issues. You've got to stand firm and still be the compassionate friend or whatever it might be, but there must be boundaries there. Because all they're going to do is drain you of energy, really. Beware that that it could be somebody that's doing that to you in your environment, or you are coming across like that to others. All right, there could be a self-sabotage going on, either in you or in others or a friend, and like victim consciousness, which is the other side of the Pisces energy. So just be aware of all of that. See how that plays out for you. Then in the 12th house, we have Cancer, I feel. Your 12th house is the house of your unconscious self, your unconscious motivations and drives, and unconscious beliefs as well. It's also the house of spirituality and mysticism, retreat, withdrawal, any kind of seclusion and reflection, deep reflection, meditation, healing, anything like that. Escapism, drugs and addiction also comes in under this card, under this house. Yes, it's also about your interactions or your experiences in institutions of all kinds. So whether this is a university or a library or a hospital or a prison or a government institution, anything like that, your experiences there, or you may be going there with another and it's your experiences through them. So now with Cancer, I feel you need to follow your feelings and instincts here. So you need to tap in. You're going to be feeling highly sensitive. Again, it keeps coming up again and again in your chart. You may just need to withdraw and retreat. Really, it's indicated with this. Just to center yourself and also to build resilience, all right? So that you don't get sucked into everything else that's going on. You may feel like you want to just hide away sometimes and just deal with things. And that's highly indicated with this combination. Your spiritual life, your psychic life even, or any kind of deeper levels of sensitivity is indicated with this. So there's going to be stimulation of that going on. You may also have family or domestic issues because Cancer always rules the home. There could be a mother figure involved, cycles, pregnancy, moods, mood swings, cycles of all kinds. Female issues could be coming in, whether they're yours or somebody else's. Or you could be working in an environment where all of those things come in. This card also brings in memories, nostalgia. Just be careful that you're not living in the past, or living, sort of mulling over old wounds or hidden unconscious beliefs about things. Bring those to the light and deal with them. And so the past, you don't want the past memories and wounds to be holding you back, okay? It's also about nourishment of the self. So do whatever it is that you need to do to nourish yourself, whether that's spiritually, with meditation, mysticism, going for healing, solitude, withdrawal, going on a retreat even. Any of those things will help you. And nourishment of all kinds, whether that's beautiful foods or just feeling comfort and security in whatever it is that you're wanting to enhance in yourself, and that will help you to keep you balanced. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it very much, and take care, and I will see you next time.